Hey, beautiful ones. I want to thank you for joining me again for another episode of Moving Mountains podcast here on the Anchor app. This app has made it really easy for me to be able to bring you what I hope is great information that can bring positive transformation and change to your life. If you haven't done so, make sure that you download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. And I want to thank you again for tuning in with me, and I hope you enjoy this episode.
If I can climb the mountain, then I can move the mountain. If I can put one foot in front of the other, and everything works in divine order. If I can climb the mountain, and I can move the mountain. If I can put one foot in front of the other, and everything works in divine order.
Hey, beautiful ones. Once again, it's Trishina Barzar Hunter with Moving Mountains Coaching Podcast. Again, I am a certified transformational life coach, certified emotional intelligence coach, and master's in psychology. And I wanted to spend a few moments with you today to talk about our healing and how hard that it can be. In today's world, we are constantly being bombarded with what people look like on the outside, or what they portray, the front that they put up, what their Snapchat filter is. And we have this expectation or this belief that for them, everything must be okay. And with us, we're raging this internal civil war, and we feel like we're losing. And I wanted to talk to you today a little bit about your healing, because as the saying goes, hurt people hurt other people. And not many of you know this, or maybe you might. I'm a single mom. I have 2 daughters, and I'm seeing them go through experiences where people are lashing out at my daughters, and they're coming to me and they're frustrated and they're hurt and they're afraid, and they don't know who they can trust or who they can turn to. And I find myself having to remind them that you haven't done anything wrong in this sense. It's not always something that you need to apologize for. Sometimes people are reacting to you because of your light. Sometimes people are responding to you a certain way because of dissatisfaction that they have within themselves. And for none of us, not anybody listening to this podcast or anybody that we come in contact with, are we able to change how someone else feels about themselves. The only person that we can change is us. How we feel about ourselves on the inside, the way that we view ourselves. And just like when someone else feels shitty about themselves, they project it onto us or to other people. We have to be conscious of how we are processing our own healing. Because when we are going through the healing process, and it can be physical, it can be mental, it can be emotional, whatever healing process it is that we are going through, the first thing we have to do is look inward. We have to look inside of ourselves and really evaluate what it is we are healing from. What it is that broke our heart, broke our spirit, broke our body. What any one person is healing from is not going to be exactly the same as the next. But the only way to get past it is to identify it and to look inward. You'll never be able to heal from anything, whether it's crisis, whether it's childhood abuse, rape, illness, pain, surgery. You won't be able to heal from any of it by placing the blame on people outside of it that have absolutely nothing to do with what caused your pain. But the problem is that the hardest person to look at sometimes is ourselves. In the Black communities, and especially with Black women, we're taught or told or even conditioned that we have to be strong. We have to just keep pushing through whatever the hell it is that is crushing us down, and just keep moving. I've seen statements that say to be a Black woman and to receive love, you have to suffer first. And that's a lie. You don't have to suffer first to be loved, whether you're a woman or a man, whether you're Black or white. Suffering is not a requirement that you have to go through in order to be loved. But in order to love yourself and to be complete again after you've experienced something that has changed your life that you weren't expecting, or hurt you, or broke you down, you've got to face it. You have to really take a look at exactly what that was and process it. A lot of times you're going to find that you can't process it all alone. So you need to see a counselor or a therapist or a coach, but somebody that can help you process what it was you went through that broke you. The only way for you to heal is to process and deal with what broke you. And that process is never going to be looking outside to someone else or blaming someone else. It's an easy thing to do, but our answers aren't there. I encourage you to take 5 minutes each day. No matter what hell you're going through, no matter how bad your bills are, no matter how bad you feel your life is, take 5 minutes each day. And for just those 5 minutes, choose healing, choose peace, and choose love. Take 5 minutes and really examine where peace, love, and calm are in your life right now. And if they're absent, if those components are missing from your life, I encourage you to take a look at what it is that's holding you back from experiencing that within yourself and for yourself. You are always going to be the first place that you can start. Because just like you can't change other people and how they feel about themselves and how they project the negative feelings they have about them onto you or other people, nobody can do that for you except for you. It's why they say in relationships, for you to be in the relationship that you want, you have to fall in love with you first. You've got to be whole and complete when you go into that relationship. And then you want to be in a relationship with somebody else that's whole and complete. Look back at your life. Look back at what you've overcome or what you've gone through or what it was that maybe should have killed you but didn't. And then ask yourself, did I become the person I want to be on the other side of that? And if your answer is no, then I encourage you to take the step, just the first step, towards fixing it. And that first step is acknowledging it within you. The first step is looking and saying, this situation hurt like hell. It wasn't easy, but I'm still here. And this is how I feel about it. And I'm ready to make a change. It is absolutely okay to process your feelings. And processing your feelings and working through your own shit is not something you have to do alone. It is okay to seek counsel. It is okay to see a therapist. You can work with a coach. Whatever it takes for you to process the way you feel about you, the way you feel about your experiences and what has happened to you is worth it. And the reason why it's worth it is because you are worth it. When we fail to address the things that have hurt us and to heal from the things that have almost broken us, we will often find ourselves taking it out on other people. Just like we experience other people taking their mess out on us. Don Miguel Ruiz in his book, The Four Agreements, tells us to take nothing personally. And I will be honest, that's the one I have to remind myself of a little bit every single day. That however this person is addressing me, the way that they are treating me, the way that they are talking to me, or their actions are not all about me. Because as sure as the universe spins, I know that it's not revolving around me. It wasn't designed that way. I'm not nearly close to being that perfect or having it that together that anything, anyone, any circumstance revolves around myself. So I have to learn and remember and remind myself every day not to take things personally because it's not about me. The only thing about me is my own experiences, my own health crisis, my own experience with abuse, my own experiences with friendships and things of that nature. And I have a very individual responsibility. You have a very individual responsibility to move through those things, to process those things and how they affected you. And determine who you want to be on the other side of whatever hell you have gone through. Because I promise you that just like you've gone through hell, whoever you're looking up to that seems to have it all right, that seems to have gotten it all perfect, went through a personal hell of their own before they got to where they are. And whatever hell you've gone through, whatever hell you are still going through, you are capable of making it to the other side. And you get to choose for yourself what kind of person or human being you are going to be on the other side of your trauma, on the other side of your tragedy, on the other side of your own personal hell. You can literally change anything about who you are mentally, physically, and emotionally that doesn't make you feel good about you. Looking at ourselves, facing our demons and our own personal hell is one of the biggest mountains in our life that we will ever have to move. But even that mountain can be moved. But just like I say with every mountain, you have to be willing to take the first step. And sometimes the first step is admitting that you're hurt. Admitting that something that you pretend didn't affect you really broke you all the way down. Or admitting that sometimes the way you handle circumstances and situation just is not right. And all of that is perfectly okay because none of us are perfect. So I encourage you again to take that 5 minutes a day and ask yourself, have I become the human being that I desire to be and that I'm proud of? And if your answer is not all the way yes, take 5 minutes and seek peace, seek calm, seek love. And seek those things for yourself first, wholly and completely, because you absolutely deserve it, no matter what you've done or no matter what you've been through. As always, if you are enjoying the content in my podcast, I encourage you to subscribe. I encourage you to like, to comment, to share with your friends. You can find me on Facebook at Moving Mountains Coach. You can also find me on Instagram with the same handle at Moving Mountains Coach. My website is www.movingthemountains.net. I appreciate you for taking your time to spend it with me because you could have spent your time anywhere. And remember, any mountain can be moved, as long as you are willing to take the first step.